Right, this is the road test for a Honda CR-V. This is a 2.2 EX diesel. It's a top of the range car, registered GV56YLH. Mileage at the start of this road test is 45,832 miles. Reason we do these road tests, and we do it on pretty much every car that we take into stock, is that basically we're selling to people from all over the near continent and the extremes of the UK, and clearly if people are willing to invest the time and money to come and see us, we feel the least we can do is to show you the car you come to look at actually in operation, and it is the very car you're coming to see. And then obviously I can feed back anything I need to from the test drive, and you can make your mind up as to whether you feel as though the trip is a worthwhile exercise. Obviously, hopefully we feel you will, but I will report back anything I find, and good, bad or otherwise. So what I try and do on the road test is to do basically much the same as you do yourself, and that's to go through kind of an order sequence of events for you. And so I always start with the engines. Obviously this is the CTDi diesel engine. Obviously it's a very low mileage one, so that you'd expect the engine to be good, and it certainly is. Starts absolutely on the button, very, very smooth revving, idles absolutely perfectly, it doesn't fluctuate in any way. It's a clean, crisp revving engine. They always are. I mean, they're wonderful, wonderful engines actually. So the idle's completely steady. What's going on here? I think the traffic light's just gone out. Sorry, the traffic lights decided not to work. So yeah, no, I mean the engine it's a wonderful unit. It's, for a diesel engine, it's very refined indeed, and it pulls incredibly well. You're looking at one of these engines, sort of mid 40s-ish to the gallon is easily achievable. You can get slightly higher, you can get less. Obviously, if you're doing pure town driving, you're not going to get quite as much. But it's a great engine, great tow vehicle as well. Actually, I've got one myself, and it tows absolutely brilliantly. The engine then obviously drives through clutch and gearbox. Clutch is light, smooth, very positive in actuation. There's no discernible change in engine note between when the clutch is in or out, no vibrations from the engine at all. The gearbox, typical Honda fare, really, really nicely judged gearbox on the car, wonderful linkage on it, very, very smooth shifting. Obviously a 6-speed. I mean, I'm in 6th now, just under 40 miles an hour, dropping down now, and it'll still pull perfectly happily at these sorts of revs, even in 6th gear. So it's an incredibly tractable engine. The gear change itself is lovely and smooth, really beautifully done synchro mesh on the Hondas, and a brilliant linkage on it as well. There's no vagueness to it. It's tight. It doesn't feel there's any discernible wear in the gear linkage at all. It's it's in really, really fine order. As I'm driving the car now, the steering tracks absolutely bullet straight. It doesn't exhibit any vibrations back through the steering wheel. I can't find any kind of obvious where you might get a little bit of a track rod which might have a bit of wear in it, or a drop link or something like that. But there's nothing coming back through the steering that shouldn't be there. So it all feels very, very tight and in good order underneath. Likewise, the suspension goes about its business very nicely. Very smooth riding cars. Again, just listening out for any kind of sort of secondary noises after it goes over a bump, but there are none at all. It's in very, very fine order. They ride really nicely. Actually, I think they've got exactly the right compromise between ride comfort and not allowing the car to pitch and roll through corners. It's certainly my kids who are prone to feeling a bit travel sick. We never have an issue with them in these cars. Whilst I'm travelling here at the legal limit, I'm listening out for wind noises as well that shouldn't be there. So you might get wind intrusion from a sort of damaged seal through the panoramic roof or the windscreen or windows. And again, nothing at all. It's very, very quiet indeed here. Looking around the dashboard, in really, really good condition. It's been very, very well kept, this car. You know, obviously, given the low mileage, you'd expect it to be in good condition, but that's not always an absolute given on the sort of cars which have done, you know, family use, or But the plastics are in top order. Great dashboards to use. Really simple. You got a lovely, clear, big sat nav system there. So easy to use, very intuitive that's the word, to use. It's just push button stuff, all works absolutely perfectly, and when you pop it into reverse you get a lovely crystal clear rear parking camera as well. We want to pop a CD in, just press a button there and that opens. You pop a CD in behind it and press the close button to do that, but it all operates exactly as it should. You've got dual zone climate control, and that if I put that down, change the mode, just check the air conditioning actually while I'm on the move, and just put that on. Yeah, it's come out nice and cold, so that's all working perfectly. I've got the heated seat on as well. I wanted to try that as I was driving. Again, that all works absolutely fine as well. Quickly swing around now, kind of pretty much at the halfway point of what I tend to do on these things. Make sure there's no cars coming, hopefully. Look at the dashboard, it's directly in front of me again. Typical Honda dashboard, lovely, clear, legible dials. No warning lights on the car at all. I've got a temperature gauge which is running about a third of the way up the gauge, which is exactly where it wants to be on any Honda car, and that's absolutely perfect. Steering wheel, top condition. Again, everything I've pressed so far it's got a real feel of sort of solidity about it. It's in really, really nice order actually. What's nice about this car, I mean, it's clearly this is a very high spec car. I would imagine, I used to work for Honda, it would have been a demonstrator of some description early in its life, because not only has it got this dynamic aero pack, which is a very expensive option, you've got the upgraded alloys which were well over £1,000, but this one also has auto lights, but also the active lights as well, because it's part of the safety system on the car, and this auto cruise control system as well, which differentiates from a normal cruise control by having a radar in the front of the car to stop you bashing into the car in front if you go too fast. So I've set it now, and I've deliberately set it for a speed higher than I really want to go, and what it's doing is it's just maintaining the gap to the car in front. So as I get closer, it actually slows me down. It's so soothing and nice to use. Obviously you'd ordinarily use it on the motorway, just doing this for demonstration purpose to show it works absolutely fine. If I wanted to sort of increase the gap to the car in front, so I'm not sort of quite so snug behind, I could just press that button there, and it just is now dropping me back a little bit further, just so I've got a bit more time to think and it's got a bit more time to react. But it works absolutely brilliantly, and if you're doing long trips, you're going through average speed cameras, cruise control's a really great idea. The problem with them, if you come up behind the car in front, you've got to hit the brakes and then that deactivates it. This is just doing it all for me. I've got it set at 60 miles an hour. I'm doing 50 miles an hour now, which is the speed limit which I'm in currently, which the car in front's adhering to, and it works absolutely perfectly. It really is a great system. But a really lovely car, drives really nicely. I said, I keep mine for 6 months, but only really for tax reasons. And I think I think my wife's car currently is our 40th CRV, so I've got a real passion for these cars, because they kind of fit everything. That you got the reliability of the Toyota RAV4, but you've got the quality of something like a VW or a BMW in terms of its build quality. You've got better space than virtually any of them. You've got extendable rear seats, flip and fold seats, really clever design. But you've got intelligent four-wheel drive, which none of the others have, which operates in the same way. And so basically, as I'm driving, as most of us will do, roads like this, it's in two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, which is exactly what you want. That's cutting fuel losses, it's cutting mechanical wear on the vehicle and tyre wear. Whereas cars that run permanent four-wheel drive, will be constantly chewing at their tyres and, dragging down the car and obviously requiring more fuel to push it forward. Just a brilliant system, and one we've never, ever touched. We've sold literally hundreds of them, and it's a wonderful, wonderful system. Obviously, if I've missed anything out on the test drive, then please don't hesitate. Do give us a call. This is just a quick drive of the car, just to show you it's in operation. But from what I've driven so far, it drives absolutely fabulously.